solve pressing global challenges. She's been looking particularly at how research and innovation can not only stimulate growth and economic activity, but also direct it toward meeting global challenges by transforming them into concrete, measurable, and most importantly, achievable missions. Our work on open innovation looks at the way research and development and innovation can be directed in a manner which is systemic and participatory, enabling bottom-up solutions and experimentation, and of course, considering the specific role innovation plays for eco-entrepreneurs and vice versa. Open innovation is one of those buzzwords for which is often difficult to grasp its practical value. We believe we need system innovations enabling the creation of environmental value via novel business models. And following Mazzucato ideas, the professor I just mentioned, we believe we need missions, tangible processes, solving critical problems, while also spurring growth, entrepreneurship, jobs, and resulting in positive spillover across different sectors. These missions can be set, processed, and tackled through an open eco-innovation process, the one we are presenting today, facilitating cooperation vertically along the value chain or horizontally among enterprises or public and private stakeholders. Our proposed open eco-innovation process, which our colleagues from the Sociedad de la Innovación, from SDLI, will present in short time, looks for shared solutions, triggering business opportunities based on challenges people face in their daily life with regards to the disruption of specific ecological services, and which can be solved supporting circular economy and SCP, sustainable consumption and production practices. From our point of view, operationalizing this approach requires three key strategies. Firstly, promoting mission or open innovation-oriented policy. We deem that a clear direction is needed to shape key challenges the region is facing and to enable the mentioned bottom-up solutions, so creative and co-created solution from green entrepreneurs and innovators. Secondly, designing an engagement model and attract innovation community to reply to these challenges. And finally, actively promoting market deals along identified value chain, using open innovation to integrate vertically green and circular entrepreneurs. Directionality is needed, but should be, of course, in line with policy frameworks, such as those who are stemming from our mandate and our work within the Barcelona Convention. It is very remarkable to mention that the 22nd meeting of the contracting parties of the Barcelona Convention, which has been celebrated 2 weeks ago, adopted an important decision on regional measure to support sustainable business models. And within this decision, which has been adopted in Antalya, research and development and innovation is acknowledged as a key elements for a thriving green and circular business ecosystem in the Mediterranean. So the idea is to advance also on this important policy framework and work to transition toward a green and blue economy, and to improve, of course, governance in support of sustainable development and entrepreneurship. Without further ado, I'd like to hand the floor over to Ignasi. Ignasi is the CEO and founder of Sociedad de la Innovación, which is a Barcelona-based consultancy and firm leader in open innovation processes. Please, Ignasi, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Alessandro, and thank you everybody for attending the meeting. It's an honor for us, and we're very pleased to be to be here with you today. So let me share the screen and a little bit the goals and agenda of the session. Could you please confirm me that you can see the screen, Maria?
Yes,
or,
yes.
Yes, excellent. Thank you very much. So welcome everyone again, and thank you very much. So as Alessandro said, my name is Ignasi. I'm one of the founders at SDLI. We are an innovation agency based in Barcelona, and basically focused in open innovation. And the purpose of the session today is to show you, to present you, and comment and discuss the methodological framework that we have designed with SCP RAC for open eco-innovation enablers. Alessandro was saying open innovation is a buzzword, where we're creating a new one, open eco-innovation. No? And we have designed this guide for you to be able to set up an open eco-innovation ecosystem, and to be able to facilitate this connection between startups and corporates aiming to develop innovative solutions in circularity and sustainability. So this is the goal today, just to show you this methodology and to discuss it with you. And the end goal of this is to help you create and develop this open eco-innovation ecosystem. Okay. I also wanted to share with you that there are two basic levers that this initiative is based on. First is this methodology. The second one is the digital tool that we are implementing for you to use in order to connect startups and corporates. We're developing it with an open innovation software called Voltea. Maria will share the link in the chat. And I just wanted to share this with you. I mean, it's just, we're showing just one part of the work that we are developing right now, okay? But since this is already done, we wanted to start sharing it with you and discussing it with you, okay? So the agenda is this one. We are basically here to present you the guide, the methodology, but we have the honor today to have two organizations, GIMED and Barcelona Activa, with us, I mean, who will share with us their stories and their experience in open innovation in different ecosystems, okay? And also from different perspectives, from the public administration and from the private sector, okay? And also, we wanted this not to be only a theoretical presentation, but also we have prepared some what we call a practice session, which is more a hands-on part of the webinar, just for you to start and to allow a brief space for discussion about how will this methodology help us in our efforts to connect startups and corporates, okay? And we're gonna end with the next steps. What's next in this project, okay? So as you know, we have until 3:30, and we wanna try to make it as fun as possible, okay? And feel free, please, to I don't know, share comments in the chat or raise your hand or whatever, because I like it to be a debate and a conversation more than just explanation, okay? And Maria or Alessandro or the rest of the team, if you see any comment that we should share, I mean, just go ahead and interrupt me, okay? Because I'm not seeing what's happening in the chat. Okay? So first part of today's session is this panel that we have prepared, and with two enablers, Barcelona Activa and GIMED. And I'm very glad to introduce you to Ana Majó, Business Innovation Director at Barcelona Activa. Barcelona Activa is the local economic development agency in Barcelona, okay? And Naveen Badar from GIMED, who is he's the operations lead, and GIMED is an organization. Actually, it's an enabler connecting startups and corporates, but Naveen will explain it much better than me. So Ana and Naveen, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I don't know if you can unmute you, and we're gonna start.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ana, and by the way, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I wanted to say it. especially in this day. I mean, today. Thanks for coming and being part of this panel. And thank you also, Naveen.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
And welcome. So first of all, I wanted to ask you what is Barcelona Activa, Anna, and what is GIMED, and what do you do in order to promote open innovation or connections between different type of organizations to develop innovation projects? Anna, for instance, if you wanna start.
Okay, thank you. I cannot see myself, but I don't know because of the screen, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I can talk.
Let's do it this
Okay,
way.
now
Let's
more or
do it this
less I
way.
can see it. Thank you very much. Okay, so first of all, thank you for inviting us. As Ignacio told, I'm working in Barcelona City Council, and we are fostering innovation from the public sector. And this is not always something easy to explain, or because our role it's I think it's key, but as Ignacio say, we act more as enable. Three different, I would say, some ideas, and then we can talk more a little bit about that. Barcelona Activa began more than 30 years ago, and then their project, it was creating businesses, it was entrepreneurship. We were the first incubator in Europe, in the Southern Europe, and our focus were more on services, and we still do that. So we still give services like business creation, incubation, how to do a business plan, training on how to, I don't know, to get finance for your company, how you can connect with the ecosystem, also digital training. So all that it's about training and services, also in employment, because we also help to create the jobs and to people to access to jobs. But when we go to innovation, as Alessandro said at the very beginning, and thinking about Mazzucato always, I like to say that we are not, as a public body, a vending machine anymore. We are not a vending machine of services, a vending machine of, I don't know, training, a vending machine of something that the citizens or the companies come and serve themselves. But we need to play a role more like dynamizing ecosystems, so making things happen and not always doing is ourselves. And here we are fostering a bunch of projects that I'll have no time to explain all of them, but the idea is to connect big corporates with small startups, to connect, and normally based on challenges, as you also have said. So define what is the thing to solve, and then do these calls to find good solutions to connect people and make things happen. So this was more or less how we work, and maybe we can talk later on.
Thank you very much, Anna. I'm going to ask you about that. Naveen, you want to go ahead and present GIMED, please?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm really happy to join this webinar. And excuse my voice, it's winter and the flu. If I'm not clear, please stop me, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So GIMED has started in 2012. That was almost 10 years ago. It's the platform. It's the only platform in the Arab region that crowdsources ideas and solutions in its own open innovation model. And what do I mean by that? I mean that GIMED as a platform, a digital platform, connects and identify the challenges for different organizations, and doesn't have to be only corporates or companies. It might be a governmental organization, international institution, any organization or body that has a challenge can be identified, and through a very streamlined automated process by GIMED, this challenge is changed and get connected with innovators and entrepreneurs to solve this challenge. So definitely having or being online expands GIMED outreach, as we do not work only locally in Egypt. We work in different Arab countries, and we have done like 75 or more challenges where we connected, or we had like a challenge from different organizations, and I said, and we found solutions for them locally and in 3 or 4 Arab countries. We have a very strong network also. That's a network of innovators, entrepreneurs that we are very much in contact with and hooked up with us. More than 10,000 innovators, 30% of them active, like 3,000 innovators. And we also have a very, and we have also a very strong network of academic people, industrial businessmen. This is also very important for us in the evaluation and in solving our challenges, to evaluate whatever the innovators come up with. Again, our key is identifying the challenges in YUMKIN, identifying the challenges, asking the right questions to get the right answers. And even for organizations that have challenges that they cannot find fund for them, we have the network to provide them or research together for a fund. So it's a very dynamic thing in YUMKIN, and currently in Egypt and in the Arab region and the Middle East, it's getting a very high traction, the idea of open innovation, and we are very happy to be pioneers in it. In the beginning, especially that in Egypt, it wasn't really a well-known concept or a well-known ideology to work with in corporation and companies.
Mm-hmm.
That's in a nutshell. So you can ask me more as we go.
Yeah.
Through the conversation.
Well, I believe that all of us in here today, we could learn so much from your experience, both Barcelona Activa and YUMKIN. I mean, since we haven't much time, but at least a couple of questions to both of you. I mean,
Okay.
And you mentioned already some very interesting things. The importance of network and being able to define and identify challenges. But my question is, I mean, let me introduce it. Open innovation is a buzzword, yes, but it's old enough. No, I mean, it comes from 2003. No,
Yes, exactly.
and we still, since Chess wrote, published the book, but we still have. There's still many difficulties or barriers in developing this kind of activities. No? Which difficulties, in your experience, are the ones that are more important to solve when trying to connect startups and corporates? And I know that it's a very broad question, but I'm sure that you will be capable to at least come up with one difficulty that you would mention. And I don't know, Anna or Nevin.
Okay. Let me take this. Actually, one of the barriers and the challenges is really articulating the challenge for the organization or the company we're working with, because sometimes the organization has various challenges. The team itself cannot really put hands on the pain, on the real pain, because they're not asking the right questions. So articulating the real challenge and that's making the real impact on the organization is very important, and it's a barrier for any launching any challenge and getting solution for it. Also this having this challenge, having this challenge with or matching this challenge with a feasible solution, because sometimes not all the challenges has feasible solutions. So in YUMKIN, I think we have this process of really identifying challenge identification. We work hand in hand with the team, as I said, and we come up with the challenge that is understandable and appealing and attractive for innovators, because sometimes you just may launch a challenge that nobody was going to answer to it, or do not have solution to it because they don't understand it. So if we really articulate and put the challenge in a sense that's attractive for innovators and for entrepreneurs, I think this is the real barrier for the enablers.
I agree, and it's not easy to define it in a proper way that makes it attractive and understandable. I mean,
Yes. Yes.
Anna.
Yeah, if you want, I would add. So I totally agree that the definition of the challenges is the beginning of so it's what fixes the success of all the process, and it's where you have to spend more time. But I think there's another thing that it's very important to remark that, of course, we've been talking about open innovation for a long time, and it is more and more present in companies, in universities, in startups, in governments. But I think it's very important to distinguish from the real challenges with the real commitment of make things happen, where there's a good definition of the challenge, a good definition of the solution. There's enough rewarding for the company that is offering a proposal. And there's other proposals where it's more what we call the theater innovation, I would say, where the challenger are more thought about. So like a marketing campaign of we are very innovative, we want to do that, but sometimes there's no a real commitment behind. And I think this is very important, and it is something that we should, I would say, abolish, I don't know, but really to be sure when we are doing one thing or the other, because it will save a lot of time to be corporate, a lot of time to startups that propose solutions when when we really know there's a reward behind and there's a commitment not only to have the solutions, but to pilot them probably and to scale afterwards. That is where the impact is real. So I would say what it's a real barrier or a challenge is to increase the impact of this open innovation. Of course, I would say many others, like the management or the governance of the ecosystems, etc. But I think this is important.
Yeah, commitment. No, you mentioned that. I mean, startups, by definition, don't have the resources or time to spend in processes with corporates that don't have the commitment they say they have. No, so it's also a key success factor. Absolutely. I don't know if you have you agree with this perspective, Naveen, and you have seen this in your ecosystem.
Yes, absolutely. I do agree with this because, again, I think it's universal. Commitment from startups and innovators it always comes an issue when to spend more and more time with the organization or the startup or the corporates that they want to solve the solutions. As sometimes innovators are also working individually. They are not with a startup. They are only innovators that has come up with a solution, and he doesn't want to increment on it, or he doesn't want to scale on it. So this also is a real barrier to guarantee the commitment to the solution. However, there is always a way to keep people committed and to keep them hooked. I think it's the financial rewards, as Anna said. It's always keep people in the line and wants to do more.
So
okay, sorry.
Yeah, Anna, go ahead.
No, and maybe just to summarize, I think it's very important to define the challenge, to be sure that there's a commitment. I think the other thing is how you dynamize the platform, even so the ecosystem, and sometimes with the platform can help. And sometimes you need to give some assessment to both parts. So to define the challenge or to present a solution, and to be sure that everything is on the right place, and there would be well, some results and impact. That is what we are looking for.
To facilitate the connection, no? I mean, in both sides, no? To make it easy for them. Could you share, one of you, I mean, the first who want to go, looking at the good side, no? I mean, a success story that you would like to share, to see how it works, no? of a very good connection between a startup and a corporate that you have facilitated in the past with an impact.
I would like to share actually this is a success story for Yumkin, which I'd like really to share with you. It was actually a societal challenge for a village in Egypt. the villagers there it works in the pottery industry, and you know the pottery industry in Egypt, it's very old, and the villagers there, they depend on this pottery industry as their main source of income. But were facing a problem. They wanted to find an alternative source of energy because they depended on gas cylinder, and the gas cylinder were not sustainable always in the village, and at the same time they were not able to be connected to the grid. They didn't have the infrastructure, so they were threatened to stop their main source of income, which is manufacturing the pottery. When Yumkin came in and launched this challenge, it was connected with a very, I see him a creative innovator. He solved the problem at a very low cost. He made a gasifier that used agriculture waste, which was available in the village. And the agriculture waste he turned into thermal energy that's needed to manufacture the pottery. So actually that solved the problem, and it has another externality, which is the gas emissions that used to come out of the furnaces using the gas. It used to have a negative impact on their health. Now using this new gasifier for the renewable energy, it has a zero emission, and it has a positive energy, or it at least eliminated the health hazard they had using the gas. So here is the exact thing of using enabler in the middle to connect this problem, or to connect people with a pressing societal problem that can be solved with low cost solutions. And it helped them to maintain their main source of income, and it helped them also to keep their health and to eliminate the health hazards they had.
Excellent. If you have it, any kind of link, we will be happy to share it here with the rest of the attendees.
I have a video that showed it. Would you like,
okay.
If you allow me, I can share the video.
But how long is it? Because I'm already late.
Oh, okay. I can put the link on the on the chat. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. Anna, I know that in Barcelona, for instance, there's sustainability-related strategic initiatives, also in innovation. Could you share a little bit some of this?
Well, when Barcelona began the Urban Lab, but this was when we began with this pilot on the street in 2008. So the list is long, and it would be more in mobility, in energy, in parking, in lighting, in many different things. I would explain, if you agree, the last one that we did, it was just after the pandemics, and it's in the retail. Because as you know, with the pandemics, it was lockdown, everyone was at home and selling or buying by internet, and it's, of course, we help the commerce, the little retail to do that. But we say, okay, and when we open, how can we help citizens to stand up from their sofa and go to the stores, because we really need that, not only for them to buy, to sell, but also because it's part of the life of the city. And then we launched challenges. So how can we improve the experience in the small stores of our neighborhood, also adding some of the added values of the online buying, for example, knowing how much time they are looking for one product or the other, how to sell one after the other. So these kind of things that we had from the online world into the offline world. And we launched this challenge. Many companies, it was technological companies that apply. And finally, we have installed a pilot in 4 stores in the city center that a lot of different technologies I'm not going to talk about, but we are really happy because they change, and they are so happy how they have improved not only the experience for the citizens or for the buyers, how they have improved even the revenues of the store. Yes, and so the amount of the ticket, the normal ticket, and how they are connecting and talking different with their clients. So it's really a good project. And now we are scaling to do it in Barcelona, but also in other cities, but because it's a problem worldwide. So this could be an example. And of course, there's many projects on I love to hear green and blue economy, because we are working a lot on that, but I would say examples will come in the next months. Thank you.
Good. I'll wait for them. So don't want to take more of your time, Anna and Levin. Thank you very much for being with us and coming. And we're gonna continue with the presentation of the methodology that we have prepared for this eco-innovation platform.
Thank you a lot. I would leave my contacts in the chat. I've shared the YouTube, and I would leave the contact also in the chat for you. For everybody's interested to have a look. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll do the same.
Good.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, and looking forward to see the methodology and see if we can apply. I'm sure coming from the team here, I'm sure it's a good methodology. So happy to look at the details.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much. Okay.
And enjoy all your meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. So let's continue. If there's any question, comment, let me know. So next stage of the webinar, of the meeting, is the presentation of the guide, of the manual, of the framework, however we wanna call it. It's basically a guide to support the matching between seekers of green and circular business solutions with the providers of these needs, okay, using this open innovation approach, the one that Levin and Anna were talking about, okay. Why open innovation? There's a lot of literature about this. It's basically it provides many types of benefits. It allows you to reach a larger and more relevant audience. It reduces the cost of developing the solution. It allows you to be more user-centric or customer-centric. It allows risk mitigation. I mean, you are able to see different types of solutions at no cost, okay? And it allows you to have access to new types of talent. I mean, as the book says, no? I mean, there's more talent beyond the four walls of our organization than inside it. Okay, so this is the philosophy behind open innovation, and the key role in here, which is your role, is the enabler of these ecosystems, of these connections. Okay, these connections are, as Levin or Anna were saying, are not easy. There's many barriers internally in corporates. There's many barriers in startups for them to start collaborating with others. And this is where enablers come in to play a very important role. Okay, they provide resources, knowledge, infrastructure, platforms to facilitate this collaboration. In here, in this 5-7 next minutes, I'm gonna summarize what we're gonna publish in a few days, and you're gonna receive it in the actual guide. Okay, this is just a summary to explain a little bit how it is structured and which are the key elements that we have defined. Because in fact, many of the things that David and Anna were saying have been taken care of in the guide. In fact, the guide has been made by interviewing many people actually developing open innovation initiatives all over the place. Okay, so and you will see the guide structured and in a way that it allows you to understand the whole process. Okay, to understand open innovation as a process in which there are activities and services that as an enabler you can develop. Okay. Stage 0 is the creation of your own innovation ecosystem. This is what Yomken had to do when they started, or even Barcelona had to do, the government had to do when they started with Barcelona Activa. They needed to put in place the resources with which other innovators and entrepreneurs will develop and launch their solutions to solve the problems of the corporates or of the governments. You know? And in order to create this ecosystem, some key elements are first, secure which is your revenue model. Either you are a public ecosystem or a private ecosystem, you need to understand which is your revenue model. Okay. Second, there's a key series of partnerships that you will have to develop. Because open innovation can't be done alone. Establishing a network is very important, and Levin actually talked about this. There's also a very important thing, which is creating a high-performing team. I mean, there's specific roles that an enabler needs in their team, and this is also defined in the guide. Okay, which are the key roles inside an enabler's team? Okay. Also very important, creating a network of mentors, coaches, investors, and so on. Okay. When piloting solutions, you're gonna need mentors and coaches, and then you're gonna need to provide access to the startups, to investors, and so on. And you need to have this network already created, or the link established at least. Okay. And also very important, communication. You need to generate awareness about your initiative, so corporates come to you, and also startups come to you. So these are 5 key elements in order to create your innovation ecosystem, which are all detailed in the guide. Okay. From this point forward, there's the open innovation process. Okay. And in the guide, you're gonna see which are the activities and services you can provide in each of these stages. For instance, Levin and Anna were talking about the challenge, articulation, identification, and then articulation or definition or formulation. Call it however you want it. The thing is, you need to help corporates define a challenge in a way that others will understand it and that others will feel attracted to participate in your call. And here we talk about the value proposition of your challenge. What are you offering to the startups or entrepreneurs or whoever you are addressing your challenge to? What are you offering to them in order for them to be attracted to come to your call? Okay, so these are the main steps of the open innovation process, and the guide details activities and services that as an enabler you can provide in each of these stages. Okay, it is structured in this way. For each stage of the process, there's these sections: understanding, which means the description of the core services that must be offered at each stage, the processes and tools that you can use in each of these stages, and some associated services that are linked to these processes and tools. Okay. So once you download or get the guide, understand that you're gonna have the same structure during the whole document when you move through the open innovation process. Okay. So stage 1, just a brief summary because I'm already late, but it's basically the core of the webinar. Stage 1 is challenge identification. As Levin said, not all companies understand which are their needs or which are their real problems. So first is help them identify their problems or their needs. And not only that, but help them prioritize these challenges. And once you have identified this, because this is one of the key elements of success in open innovation, the challenge, you need to help them formulate, to articulate, define the challenge in a way that it is attractive. You need to help them, in consequence, to redefine the challenge and to make it understandable for the target users, the target companies or innovators of your challenge. And stage 3, you need to create the value proposition of your challenge, meaning what are you offering? Are you offering money? Are you offering a pilot project? Are you offering a base of potential customers? Are you offering visibility? You need to help them define the value proposition of their challenge in order to make that challenge attractive. And you need to be able to make the corporate understand which kind of value they can provide in the value proposition. Okay. Stage 4, you need to help them launch and promote their challenge. You can use in here the digital platform that SwitchMED will provide. You can use social networks, your own website, your partners, events, activities that, for instance, GIMED does in their ecosystem and that are key in order to capture the interest of startups. Okay, and you need to be open to questions because there's many questions that startups pose. I mean, need to ask before applying to a call. Okay, so help them launch a challenge and create all these activities to get feedback and give answers and so on. Okay, stage 5, scouting. You need one of this is also, we haven't talked about this in the panel section of the webinar, but it's a key stage of the process. Obviously, you need to help the corporate find potential solutions, and you need to have your own database and contacts of potential solution providers, and you need to have your infrastructure to do it in an efficient way. Okay, your mission here is to facilitate the link between solvers and seekers. So you need to find solvers to apply to this challenge. Okay, you have in the guide a list of tools and activities you can do in order for better scouting. Okay. In stage 6, what you do is you select the best solution. Okay, I mean, and you need to help the company define the criteria to select the best solution and to take decisions. You need to help the company make key decisions in the innovation process. Once the startups are selected, next step typically is let's make a pilot project. Let's start collaborating. You need to allow or to facilitate the collaboration between the corporate and the startup. And this means you need to provide the corporate with a perspective of how they could collaborate with startups and with some recommendations about this. And our guide also talks about this in detail. Okay. In here, there's NDAs, there's clauses for collaboration contracts, and so on. Okay, and in the end, there's the investment stage. You can either help the innovators find investors or ways to fund or finance their projects, and or to recommend the corporate how to invest in the startup if that's the case. Okay, so these are examples of activities or services that are done throughout the whole process. I went through it a bit quick maybe, but if there's any question, please go ahead and interrupt me. In the end, I mean, you are here to foster a culture of open innovation, focused on a sustainable future, and we believe that the open innovation process will help you do. Okay. So since I went through this, I mean, talking theoretically and very, very fast, the idea is to ask you some questions and to see how you would do some of these activities on your own. No, and let's discuss about these questions together. So I mean, I don't know if you have any question or comment about, right now, but in any case, I don't see any question in the chat. What we would like to do is have you guys, you can, I mean, I'm gonna present you an alternative reality, which is there's this company, Lucy's Textiles. Lucy's Textiles, it's a company. They want to reduce the amount of waste generated by the production of their textiles, and they want to stimulate innovation and also encourage reuse within the sector. Also, on the other side, there's Eco Solutions, which is a startup, and this startup, they have an app that let small factories take advantage of the waste generated by big factories. Textiles businesses can buy the remaining fabrics produced by big factories, and this would impact directly in the sector sustainability. So the thing is, let's try to make an exercise, please, if you'd like to play with us. If you could go to this link, you can use the QR, please, and use the code that you see in the page.
Mm-hmm. You can also press the link that I share in the chat, and it's directly there.
Yeah, Maria just shared in the chat the link and also the code, and Maria will share as well the screen, because you're gonna see a few questions, and as you answer these questions, we're gonna talk a bit about the methodology and the open innovation processes.
Yeah. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maria, did you put the password on the chat? I just opened the link, but where's the password?
Oh, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Okay.
No worries. Here it is. Okay, how's it going? Are you all there? Any problems to get there? So, Maria, let's start with the first question.
Mm-hmm.
So, what will you do to help solve the needs of Lucy's Textiles? Mm-hmm. As a reminder, Lucy's Textiles is a company in the textile industry. Obviously, they want to reduce the amount of waste generated by the production of their textiles, and they want to stimulate innovation and encourage reuse within the sector. Mm-hmm. Also, we know that there are startups such as Eco Solutions that have solutions for this problem. So understanding Lucy's Textiles needs, how could you as an enabler solve it? There's already someone who said understand what type of textile they deal with and find an enterprise that collects and reuses that type of fiber. Good. Mm-hmm. Put her in contact with waste management initiatives. Implement the eco-design process. Good. Reusing the waste of producing threads like what is made in micro waste in Berlin. Mapping startups or projects that might need those waste generated from textile. Good. Very good. Very good. All these are good. I mean, options. My first thing here would be, and what we recommend in the guide is to start with, let's formulate the challenge in a way that this can be addressed to potential solvers, okay? And thank you for sharing stoppmicrowaste.com in the chat. If you, we're gonna keep these answers and share it with you guys. We're gonna move to the next question. How would you formulate the challenge to make it more understandable? Which are the key elements that you believe need to be included in the definition of a challenge? There's obviously a title, no? How could we reduce the amount of waste generated? Good, okay, this is too broad. What else should we include in the definition of a challenge in order to make it understandable for others? Value proposition, very good. Thank you. What else? If you had to launch these challenges to startups, what else would you tell them in order to understand? And this is important because, yeah, you have the Menti link right here in the chat. Give me 1 second. This is important because, as Naveen and Anna said, the formulation of the challenge is a key success factor. Okay, we need to help them include all the relevant information. Good. For instance, someone shared, we have 1 ton of textiles waste, fabrics and threads. We need to turn them into new threads for textile industry. Okay, this is a goal. Goals are very important elements to introduce the challenge. It's not just a question. You need to show them why it is important for you and for the industry. And this type of sentences like this one are very important, okay? There's also other elements, such as the context. For instance, what has the company already tried to do before in order to meet this challenge? Exactly, definition of the problem. What's the real problem? Why it's a problem? Why are we not capable today to reduce the amount of waste generated? So you see, there's as we start thinking about the question, we start detailing the elements that need to go in the actual definition. So there's context, there's goals, that's the importance or the impact for the company. There's also, for instance, which are the opportunities behind this? New business models, efficiency, productivity, which are the opportunities behind the challenge, okay? Use the problem tree to check the causes, subcauses, and effects. Good, very good. So these kind of elements, you're gonna find them in the guide, okay? In order to help corporates define challenges that are understandable, okay? So thank you very much for your answers. Let's move to the next question.
Yeah.
Every Open Innovation Challenge competition has its own rewards. As an enabler, what would you like to offer to entrepreneurs that provide solutions? What do you like to offer entrepreneurs that provide solutions? Which are the benefits you believe that should be given to entrepreneurs that apply to competitions? I mentioned some of them. Who goes first? For instance, money. Networking opportunities, very good. Very important for startups. What else? What else have you seen? Recognition through visibility and exposure, very important for them. Technical support for prototyping, very important for them. Benefits, discounts, for instance, in renting offices or whatever, very important for them. An exclusive deal as service provider for 1 year incubation, very important. New customers, very important, good. So funds for prototype, good. All of these elements are key in order to generate an attractive value proposition for entrepreneurs. And you need to advise the corporates when they launch the challenge. They need previously a very clear decision on what they're going to offer to startups. Okay. So very good. Very good, everything that you shared here. Let's move to the next question, and thank you very much. So once you have launched the challenge, what would you do to capture the attention of your target community? To promote the challenge to entrepreneurs. What do you do, or what would you do in order to do it? What would you like to do? Achat des droits de propriété intellectuelle. It was mentioned IP in the previous question as well. Shared IP as a benefit. Very good. So what would you do to capture the attention of your target community? Communication campaigns through social media, exposure days, good. Outreach to entrepreneurship support organizations, exactly. So you need this kind of partners to do it. Okay. Networking events, showcase success stories, very good, very good. And social media, support organizations, call to projects. Thank you, Vasila. Media, very good. So you need your own communication processes to help promote these challenges, and it's a key and a core activity for enablers. This one, it's part of your success as an enabler to make these challenges visible. Okay. And we share this type of recommendations in the guide. Highlight the impact of the challenge. Very good. Thank you very much, guys. Very good. I don't know if you have more questions, Maria.
Yep.
Okay. Which are the key elements of a scouting process? What would you need in order to find the best solution provider for a corporate? And you can talk if you want, not only using Mentimeter. If you want, we can chat. I mean, we can debate. It's open for conversation. Prototype competition, like some kind of hackathon, no? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How can you find entrepreneurs? I will post it on Yomkel's platform, good. Or the SwitchMED platform. Good. You need to have your own database of entrepreneurs, and you need to look for online resources in which they share regularly new startups coming out. You need to have someone in your team scouting all the time new entrepreneurs that are appearing everywhere. So you create your own database. Exactly, use alumni networks, for instance, okay? And use as well your partners networks to find startups as well. Okay, it's not easy at the beginning because you don't have the database maybe or the partners, but as you mature as an enabler, you need to have this already done and prepared and done on a daily basis. The database needs to be updated every day with new potential solution providers. Okay, it's a key core activity for you as an enabler. Very important. Okay, next. And I think this is the last one, Maria. I'm not sure.
No.
Which criteria would you use to select the best solutions for challenges? Imagine you have 10 startups applying to this company. Impact can be measured by different things, no? Business-wise, circular solution, good. Social impact, environmental impact, experience, professionalism, team, huh? Yeah. Costs, good. Effectiveness of the solution, very important. Feasibility, very important. Technological maturity, very important. So it's everything relating to viability, feasibility, and impact. No? So you will also be able to help the corporate define which criteria they will use to select the best startups. We just working with a group of corporates launching startups, and they got around 250 applications. And some of the startups were interesting for some of the corporates, but they had to take a common decision. And this is a very important part of the process. You need to define very well what impact means to you and how we will measure this. Okay, and you will be able to help them do this. Okay. Yeah. Good, Maria.
Yeah.
Okay, which would be the best collaboration agreement between Lucy's Textiles and Eco Solutions? As a reminder, Lucy's Textiles want to reduce the amount of waste generated by the production of the textiles. Eco Solutions, they have an app that lets small factories take advantage of the waste generated by big factories, because they can buy the remaining fabrics produced by big factories, and this would impact directly in the sector sustainability. A business contract, meaning hiring Eco Solutions as a provider. That's an option, not the only one. What else? A partnership agreement, for instance, to develop a pilot project. Exactly. Exactly. It could be an investment as well, and take a share since it's a new business model for the company. These are all very valid collaboration agreements for this situation. There are others, but these are all very valid. Okay. It could be also be a service client agreement by which the startup gets access to the clients of the corporate. Consultancy, being an expert. Good. There are many different options. So the thing is here, as you see, that you can help the corporate take decisions on how to collaborate with this startup. And it's not easy for the corporate, and you as an enabler will be entitled to facilitate this collaboration by advising them the different options that they have. Okay, and we in the guide we provide you with this information of the different options. Okay, Maria, this is the last one.
Yeah.
Good. What would you do in order to find the right investment for making this project between Lucy's Textiles and Eco Solutions a reality? How can we help them find investment for this project? These questions are all, I mean, aimed at make us all think about the open innovation process. Good. The switch of access to finance database, very good. Train them to prepare a good pitch, very good, very important. And it's a role that as an enabler you can do. Organize a pitch with investors, exactly, an investors day. European investment projects and so on. Exactly. Thank you, Vasila. Chercher des actionnaires. So focus, help them develop the value proposition to attract investors. Exactly. These are all the services that you can provide. Very interesting and very different roles for you or activities for you in order to develop these services. Okay. So also you will find this in the guide. Good. Thank you very much. I hope these questions help you understand the guide that we have designed and help you, more importantly, establish an open innovation ecosystem and activate it and promote open innovation in your ecosystems, in your territories. And if you don't have any additional question, we would like to end the session with Marta Anglés, project manager at CSPRAC, who will present you with the next steps of the project.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will share my screen with you. First of all, okay, one second, sorry, I will try to make it full screen first of all. Do you see my presentation now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so as Ignacio was mentioning, well, first of all, I introduce myself. My name is Marta Anglés and I work at CCPRAC. And I am currently working as the project manager of the StandUP project. And I will continue the session by presenting you briefly what are the next upcoming activities that are being planned directly regarded and linked to the platform and methodology that we have just seen now. So one of the next upcoming activities is the launch of challenges. So it is planned that from February 2022 on, challenges directly related to the textile sector will be posted at the Open Innovation Platform that we have just discussed now. The idea is that the challenges will be responded with crowdsourced innovative solutions by ventures regarding the production, consumption, disposal and recycling of textiles and garments in the following countries that are Spain, Italy, Lebanon, Egypt and Tunisia. So these first set of challenges that I just mentioned are framed in the StandUP project. The SCCPRAC will manage the platform and it will make sure that the user base is continuously being active and that the challenges that are being posted are being met with solutions. Once there has been a
sorry, Marta.
call,
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I think the PowerPoint is not working actually because you are still on the first slide.
Really?
Yeah, we just see your first slide, Marta.
Okay, I will try again. Sorry.
Or if you want to send us the presentation, we can share it for you.
Do you see the screen now?
Yeah, but again, I mean, we only see the cover.
Okay. I'm sorry for this. May I send it to you then?
Just
Sure.
a question, Marta. Are you sharing the, I mean, like the document or the presentation mode?
I'm sharing the presentation.
Can you go, I mean, share the document screen, like, and then share,
Yeah, sure.
like, present the document from there? Because it happens sometimes, I think.
But
Or Alessandro, if you have the presentation, go ahead. I mean,
no, I don't have it, but if you want, meanwhile, you can.
now
No,
we see the.
You see it now?
Yeah.
We see another slide, a
slide.
different slide.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to solve this issue now.
Okay.
Well, would you mind if I just keep going without the slides? Maybe?
Sure, don't worry.
I'm very sorry about this. I don't know why it doesn't work. So following the launch of the challenges that I just mentioned, the next step is developing an eco-innovation voucher scheme. So in order to support the entrepreneurs to fund the innovative solutions that they have developed in the platform, the StandUP project is planning to develop an eco-innovation voucher scheme. This scheme then is planning to offer 4 vouchers in every country that is directly involved in the StandUP project that I just mentioned before. And each voucher will consist of an amount of 20,000 euros per voucher. So the exact steps directly related with the eco-innovation voucher scheme are the following. First of all, there will be a launch of a call of applicants for the eco-innovation vouchers. The idea is that the call will be open to early and growth stage ventures that are directly involved in the StandUP project. The idea is that ventures using the platform will be able to apply to delivery partners in the project for an eco-innovation voucher in order to facilitate the actions needed to implement the solutions that they have developed in the platform. And this phase is planned from February 2022 on. Once this call has been launched, then there will be the activity of managing the eco-innovation voucher scheme. The idea in this phase is that delivery partners will work with ventures in order to capitalize on the connection made via the platform. And this phase refers basically to the use of the vouchers and the management of their expenditure. And this phase is planned from June 2022 onwards. So this is a resume of the main activities that are framed in the StandUP project, but for sure, likewise, every year, similar activities will take place in pilot countries in the frame of the SwitchMED initiative. And you will know about this in more detail in the future. I take the chance as well to remind you, and we invite you to subscribe to the ACT Network dedicated newsletter. So the ACT, it's a network that has been developed. It's a network for NGOs and experts supporting sustainable businesses in the Mediterranean. And a newsletter has been created, and such newsletter will provide you the information about the upcoming activities of the community and how you can participate. I will share with you the link to the newsletter so you can access it. I will forward that with you in the chat. Let's see.
Thank you, Marta. While you are copying the link on the Zoom chat, I just like to add very few points. Again, I mean, the idea of this webinar was to promote this initial manual and methodology. Thank you very much, Marta. This methodology and yeah.
Can we just, Marta, stop sharing the screen so we can maybe see Alessandro? Yeah, thank you very much. Alessandro,
great, thank you very much. So as said, again, we will circulate, we will share the manual, the methodology, which has been conceived, said, also as a manual, so it can be used for in a practical way and just to straight, let's say, set open innovation processes in the shape of a corporate venturing process and methodology. As Marta said, we already have available funding for this first batch of challenges with this idea of using non-direct cash assistance. So this is the main objective of the voucher. That will start under the StandUP action. So we will initially focus on textile and fashion sector, and we will also start analyzing other specific sector and countries for other pilots within the framework of SwitchMED. We have started analyzing potential sectors such as sustainable tourism, more specifically related to coastal and marine tourism, but also food system, or in general, let's say, sustainable agriculture and food production. In this sense, I mean, of course, after this first batch of challenges, which will also act as a pilot for this methodology, we will for sure analyze and evaluate the impact, and then we will open for looking for other partners, which, of course, I mean, it's already say that we will be looking among the network of the Switchers National Partnership in the different countries we are already working. So I really invite you to check the manual. We will share, and also to reach out to us as soon as possible, or beginning of next year, also to plan these additional sectors and countries. Again, the idea is that as innovation enablers, you will be facilitating the process which has been already designed through this manual with the technical support of ESDLI, but also other partners, possibly, and of course together looking for funding, as said, for these specific solutions once the challenges will have been identified and launched. So again, really happy to discuss with all of you, let's say, the possibility to shape the future pilot sectors and countries, and we will look forward to meeting you in early next year and decide which are the sectors and countries which have more potential, let's say, for this open eco-innovation methodology. Thank you very much again. I leave the last word to Ignazi and Maria if they want.
Thank you, Alessandro. No, thank you once again to everyone for coming to the session. Hope if you, it was useful for you. We hope that it will be useful for you in the future. And in the coming days, we're gonna share the new digital platform that will help you connect between corporations and startups. And that at any time you guys want to connect with us or ask anything about the methodology, we're open for questions and comments, and we might share our contacts through CSP, SCP. Okay. So thank you again, and have a good day. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.